If you're a disgruntled star in the NBA or you're an all-star looking to leave your franchise, odds are the New York Knicks have been linked to you. And that just seems to always be the case with stars and New York. But just because a star is available does not mean the New York Knicks have to go after them. And Bleacher Report helps illustrate that perfectly today. They recently wrote an article suggesting that the New York Knicks trade for one of the Chicago Bulls stars, a move, in my opinion, that would ruin the New York Knicks. We're going to break down exactly what Bleacher Report stated, who they mentioned the New York Knicks should trade for, and in my opinion, why it's a horrendous move. We're going to look into this and so much more today. Let's get started. Bleacher Report wants the New York Knicks to trade for DeMar DeRozan. I didn't stutter. I didn't mess up my words there. Bleacher Report wants the New York Knicks to give up assets to the Bulls to get DeMar DeRozan on this team. As if DeMar DeRozan was the player he was 10 years ago. If DeMar DeRozan could help space the floor with his three-point shooting. Why would Bleacher Report suggest a trade like this for the New York Knicks? You know what? Let's look into it. According to Bleacher Report, in regards to an article that they wrote stating trades that should have happened this offseason, they proposed that the New York Knicks should trade with the Chicago Bulls to get DeMar DeRozan. And here's the deal they're proposing. In exchange for RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and a 2024 first-round pick, top protected. So essentially, a 2024 first-round pick is given to you because the Knicks are going to be good enough for that pick to convey for them. So you want to get DeMar DeRozan, somebody who is aging out of the league, somebody who does not help space the floor, somebody who is just as ball dominant as Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. You want him to be part of the Knicks in exchange for RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, two young stars rising in this league, and essentially a New York Knicks 2024 pick. I know the Knicks haven't been drafting lately, but it doesn't mean we're going to keep that up forever. You want us to keep up that trend by trading for aging stars in this league? I'm not trying to knock DeMar DeRozan. I know in terms of scoring, he is one of the better scorers in this league. He is a shot creator, and he can get his shot from anywhere. But for the New York Knicks to actually give up assets to trade for him, in my opinion, is the wildest idea Bleacher Report has ever stated from the reports that I've been reading from them week in and week out. You want us to give up RJ Barrett, a young RJ Barrett, somebody who's essentially doing what DeMar DeRozan is doing now, trying to thrive in the paint, although DeMar DeRozan does it at a much higher efficiency rate. But nonetheless, RJ Barrett is heading in that trajectory. You want to trade that young star for DeMar DeRozan, somebody who is aging out of the league, who won't help you space the floor, who is an ISO player himself as well too, and who needs the ball in his hands just as much as your other players that you're going to retain in Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. The fit doesn't make sense. His skill set for the Knicks doesn't make sense. And in terms of defense, with Tom Thibodeau, Thibodeau would have fits trying to hide and cover DeMar DeRozan game in and game out. It just doesn't make sense at all. And I don't know why Bleacher Report is suggesting this. But let's see why they've mentioned that the Knicks should make this move. According to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, this is why the New York Knicks should make the trade for DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan wouldn't help the Knicks' spacing issues. That's how you try to sell me first off in regards to how the New York Knicks could get better under DeMar DeRozan. He doesn't help the spacing issues, but you want the New York Knicks to make the trade? That's the first line? Jeez. Again, DeRozan wouldn't help the Knicks' spacing issues, but he, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle are all accustomed to navigating through narrow lanes. Plus, it's not like the Knicks are getting loads of long-distance shots out of Barrett anyway. So they might as well switch to someone who's more capable of making things happen in the mid-range both as a scorer and a shot creator. This move would single-handedly ruin the New York Knicks. If the Knicks trade away RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and a first-round pick for an aging star in DeMar DeRozan, and they think they're going to contend in the Eastern Conference with a trio of Brunson, Randle, and DeRozan, that wouldn't make any sense at all. It wouldn't happen at all. And it would be one of the worst moves the Knicks have made in their franchise history. Trading for an aging star sounds like a New York Knicks move of the past, of old regimes. I don't want to see that again. And it doesn't make any sense for the New York Knicks in terms of what they need. They need better floor spacing. They need more three-point shooters. That was evident and obvious in the playoffs, especially against the Heat. We were one of the worst offensive teams in the playoffs. DeMar DeRozan has a great mid-range game. We have Jalen Brunson, who is an elite assassin in the mid-range. We don't need another mid-range scorer. We need somebody who can score inside and outside. Getting me another scorer who can just score inside but is limited outside doesn't really help me much. DeMar DeRozan is not the guy you want out there and open at the perimeter if you're the New York Knicks. On defense, of course, that's what you want. Because DeMar DeRozan, in terms of shooting threes, we know that's not his forte. He's a mid-range assassin as well, too. He gets most of his points from that range. So we understand that that's where he's going to do most of his damage. If you understand that and I understand that, that's what most defenses know, too. And they've known that for years. They've schemed on him for years. Everybody knows what he's going to do. Is he a star in this league? Absolutely. Is he a mid-range assassin? Absolutely. Will he help the Knicks? Absolutely not. You see this face in the background? Look at DeMar DeRozan and look at the face that Jalen Brunson's making behind him right there. You see that crazy yelling face he's making? That would be my face if the Knicks made this move. It does not make sense at all for the Knicks to do this. In my opinion, if the Knicks did this, this would just be the Knicks adding a star to add a star because they were supposed to, quote unquote, add a star heading into this offseason. And adding DeMar would fulfill that need, fulfill that expectation that a lot of people had. And that would be a failure in my eyes for this New York Knicks organization. And according to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, he continues by stating the following about the trio of Brunson, Julius Randle, and DeMar DeRozan. In his opinion, those three could rival some of the best in the league and thrust the Knicks into the top tier of the Eastern Conference alongside the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, and the Miami Heat. It may not put them over the top, but there aren't many options to improve the team to another level better than DeRozan, especially at this point in the offseason. So what you're basically telling me is, because there's no other move to make, we should just make the move because it's better than nothing. Essentially getting me to my next point. Should the Knicks trade for any available star, regardless of fit? Because essentially that's what Zach Buckley is telling you to do here. Regardless of fit, he's saying the New York Knicks should trade for DeMar DeRozan. That's failure moves if you're a franchise. You don't just trade for each and every star available because that doesn't make sense. You look at your roster. You look at what your roster needs. Based off of that, you look at the stars who are available or who could be available around the league. And then you go after those stars. You do not go after stars that are aging out of the league, who don't help space the floor, something you desperately need. Somebody who can't shoot the three, something that you desperately need. And somebody who can play better when he's off the ball as well too. DeMar DeRozan is not that player. If anything, the New York Knicks need a two-way wing who is young or a more offensive-minded center. You get those two pieces on the New York Knicks, in my opinion, that's how the Knicks thrive, that's how they upgrade, and that's how they contend in the Eastern Conference. You get DeMar DeRozan, and you think a trio of DeMar, Jalen, and Randle are going to contend with the Bucks and the Celtics? Never. That doesn't make sense. How would they contend? In my opinion, they've gotten worse. They've gotten a little bit worse. You traded away Quentin Grimes, who arguably is one of your best three-point shooters on the team, for somebody who doesn't shoot the three and who's better at the mid-range, but you already have people who are good in the mid-range, especially Jalen Brunson. So the opportunities that Jalen's going to have in the mid-range, you're going to give to DeMar. You're not going to give to your basically in his prime point guard in Jalen Brunson. You're going to give it to an aging out of the league DeMar DeRozan. Make it make sense. You can't, because it doesn't. And one of the things that he mentioned here, and I want to pull it back up here, it may not put them over the top, but there aren't many options to improve the team. If there aren't many options available, then don't do anything. Why would you make a move to make a move that you don't have to make? You don't have to make a move to make a move. Newsflash, you can actually wait until the moves you want to make are available. Because if not, there's no button. Is there a button around the league that says the Knicks have to make a move this offseason or everything's going to fall apart? Because I missed the memo on that. I didn't see that report. If somebody could find it and post it in the comments, please find it for me, because I'm having a hard time locating that bit. It doesn't make sense for the New York Knicks to trade for any star available. You trade for the stars that are going to help your franchise move them in the direction of contention. But what about you guys? Let me know in the comments if you would do this proposed trade by Bleacher Report for DeMar DeRozan in regards to trading away RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and a New York Knicks 2024 first round pick. Let me know if you would do that move in the comments, or if you side with me and think that move would ruin the New York Knicks. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.